7 Complications of Type 2 Diabetes You Must Know Before It's Too Late, Part 1. What if I told you? Your body could be quietly breaking down, and you wouldn't even know it until it's too late. If you're living with Type 2 diabetes, this isn't just a possibility. It's something millions of people experience every single day. Not because they're careless, not because they didn't try, but because diabetes is a disease that often damages you in silence. It doesn't always scream. It whispers, through blurry vision, numb toes, slow-healing cuts, or a little swelling in your legs. Things we brush off. Things we tell ourselves are just age or nothing serious. And then one day, a visit to the doctor changes everything. A blocked artery, kidney damage, permanent vision loss. That's how fast it can go from invisible to irreversible. If any of that feels familiar, or even possible, take a second to tap like. Not for me, but so this message reaches someone else who might need it before it's too late. But here's what most people don't realize. Many of these complications, they don't have to happen. In fact, if caught early, some can be slowed, stopped, or even reversed. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 specific complications of type 2 diabetes, the ones doctors often warn about only after damage begins. We'll cover how each one works, how to spot the early signs, and simple steps you can take right now to stay ahead of them. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right and still not getting the full picture, hit subscribe. You deserve to know the truth about what's happening inside your body. And trust me, what I'm about to show you may surprise you. Because the first complication on this list, it often shows no pain, no symptoms, and yet it's one of the leading causes of blindness in people over 50. Don't miss this. Keep watching with me. It's more important than you think. Number 1, retinopathy, the eyes. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the world looks dimmer. You rub your eyes, blink a few times, maybe blame it on bad lighting or not enough sleep. But what if it isn't just your eyes adjusting? What if it's your vision slipping away, quietly? Diabetic retinopathy is one of the most common and most misunderstood complications of type 2 diabetes. It happens when high blood sugar damages the tiny, delicate blood vessels in your retina, the part of your eye that sends visual signals to your brain. The danger? You won't feel a thing. No pain, no warning. Just gradual changes, a little fuzziness when reading, trouble seeing clearly at night. Maybe you chalk it up to getting older. These are some of the early warning signs you shouldn't ignore. Slightly blurry or gradually worsening vision, especially when reading, watching TV, or trying to focus on distant objects. Difficulty seeing at night or when moving from bright to dim lighting, like walking into a darker room. Floating black spots in your vision, almost like little specks or flies drifting across your line of sight. Fluctuating vision, some moments it's clear, then suddenly it's not, for no obvious reason. Dark patches or shadowy areas in your field of vision, or partial vision loss that creeps in slowly. Colors may look faded or dull, like the world has lost its sharpness. And in later stages, complete vision loss in one or both eyes can happen if bleeding inside the eye isn't caught in time. But inside your eye, those vessels may already be leaking or swelling, and without treatment, that slow leak can lead to permanent damage or even total blindness. If you've ever brushed off blurry vision or night glare as just aging, you're not alone. That's exactly why so many people lose their vision too late to save it. If that hits close to home, take a second and tap the like button. Not for me, but to help this message reach someone else who might still have time. But here's what most people don't realize. When caught early, diabetic retinopathy can be treated. In some cases, it can even be reversed or slowed for years. All it takes is one simple, painless step. Get a dilated eye exam once a year, even if your vision feels perfectly fine. I know, it's easy to put off, especially when nothing seems wrong. You're busy, your eyesight feels okay, and who really enjoys getting their eyes dilated, right? But here's what makes this so important. A dilated eye exam is the only way to actually see what's going on at the back of your eye, where diabetic damage begins. It's not like reading an eye chart or squinting at letters. It's about looking deeper, where blood vessels can leak, swell, or scar, long before you notice any symptoms. I've heard stories from viewers just like you who thought their eyes were fine, until their doctor saw bleeding in the retina. The good news? That checkup gave them time to act, and they saved their sight. If you've ever skipped an eye exam because you felt okay, you're not alone. But now that you know what's really at stake, maybe this year is the year you make it a habit. That one habit has saved the sight of thousands of people living with diabetes. And it could protect yours too. Just learn something new? That's a sign you're taking your health seriously. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you never miss out on the knowledge that can protect you. And while vision loss is terrifying, it's just the beginning. Because the next complication on this list, you don't see it, you feel it. It can show up as a slight tingling in your feet or a strange numbness in your hands, and then progress to something far more dangerous. Don't miss this. Keep watching with me. You need to know what's next. Number 2, neuropathy, nerves. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt a strange tingling in your toes, like they're half asleep? Or maybe a burning sensation in your feet that shows up at night, just when you're trying to rest? That's not just annoying. It could be a quiet sign that your nerves are under attack. Peripheral neuropathy is one of the most common complications of type 2 diabetes. It happens when high blood sugar gradually wears down the protective coating around your nerves, especially in the hands and feet. At first, it's easy to ignore. A little tingling, some numbness, maybe a foot that just doesn't feel right. But over time, that numbness can become dangerous. Here are some of the most common symptoms people report, often without realizing they're connected to nerve damage. Tingling, or pins and needles feeling in the feet or hands. Burning pain, especially at night. Numbness or reduced ability to feel temperature or touch. Sharp, stabbing pains that come and go. Weakness in the legs or hands. Trouble sensing where your feet are when walking, leading to balance issues. These signs may seem small, but they're your body's quiet way of asking for help. Why? Because if you can't feel pain, you may not notice a cut, a blister, or a small wound on your foot. And what starts as something tiny can turn into an infected ulcer, and in some heartbreaking cases, amputation. I've met people who didn't know they had a problem until they stepped on a sharp object and never felt it. By the time they saw the infection, it had already spread. If you've ever felt that strange tingle or numbness, or if this story makes you pause, take a second to hit the like button. It helps spread awareness and reminds others not to ignore what their body is trying to say. Now, here's the empowering part. You can catch neuropathy early and take action before it becomes irreversible. Start by checking your feet every day. Yes, every single day. Look for cuts, blisters, cracks, or anything unusual, especially in places you can't easily feel. And if something seems off, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. Early treatment can slow the damage, relieve discomfort, and prevent serious outcomes. Just learn something that could protect your mobility and your independence? Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We cover more than just symptoms. We help you stay one step ahead of complications most people never see coming. Now, if nerve damage can sneak up without warning, what about what's happening inside your heart, your arteries, your blood flow, every single day? Most people think they'll feel it when something's wrong. But the next complication on this list is one of the top causes of death in people with diabetes. And yet, most never see it coming. Don't miss this. Keep watching with me, because what's next could be the most life-saving thing you hear today. Number 3, cardiovascular disease, heart. Let me ask you something you may never have heard from your doctor. Did you know that type 2 diabetes doesn't just raise your blood sugar, it also doubles your risk of a heart attack or stroke, and often there's no warning. No chest pain, no shortness of breath, just one moment, everything feels normal. The next, you're in an ambulance or waking up in a hospital asking what just happened. Here's why this happens. Over time, high blood sugar damages the lining of your blood vessels, making them stiff, narrow, and prone to clots. It also increases inflammation, raises your blood pressure, and messes with your cholesterol levels. That's a perfect storm for heart disease. And yet, the signs are often so quiet. A little fatigue, slight dizziness when standing, a skipped walk because you just didn't feel up to it. Most people miss these clues until it's too late. If you've ever told yourself, "I'm just tired," or "it's probably nothing," you're not alone, but your heart might be asking for help. That's why it's important to pay attention to subtle signs like shortness of breath when climbing stairs, chest discomfort or tightness during activity, sudden fatigue that doesn't go away with rest, or even mild swelling in your feet or ankles. These aren't just getting older. They might be your heart's way of warning you before it's too late. If that hits home, go ahead and tap the like button, not for me, but so this message reaches someone else who needs to hear it before something happens. Here's what you can do, and it's simpler than most people think. Check your blood pressure at home at least twice a week. A healthy target is under 130/80, but your doctor can personalize this for you. Ask about statins or low-dose aspirin. If you have a family history of heart disease, they can significantly reduce your risk. And don't underestimate the power of food. Swap refined carbs for leafy greens, salmon, olive oil, and fiber-rich whole grains. Your heart will thank you. These small, consistent steps can add years to your life and quality to every single one of them. We've just covered the first 3 silent and potentially life-changing complications of type 2 diabetes. And while they may already be working against you, the next 4, they hit deeper. They're harder to detect, and in some cases, harder to reverse. But you're not helpless. In part 2, we'll walk through the next 4 complications, including the one that could put you on dialysis without warning. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss when part 2 drops. Your health deserves this. You deserve this.